Now, if we do expand, we're going to be trying to expand into the neighboring provinces directly bordering us. Um, and if we get claims, we'll try to take advantage of those as best as possible. But we're going to try to avoid conflict with England, since they are probably the most powerful, the most actual. They're the one with the most actual power right now in the game, because France is kind of in a fragile spot. Germany is kind of in a fragile spot. While they're both technically more powerful than England, England is in a much, much better position, and their leader is so much better than theirs that it hardly matters. Eventually, hopefully, we will be more powerful than either of them, so we won't have to worry about how our neighbors are doing. And like I said, eventually we're going to be wanting to be leaving Europe completely, so we're not going to be wanting to expand and muck around with England and France too much. But we will be, we will mess around with it, try to get provinces as their chances come up. We're not really related to anyone, except for our vassals and our son. So, yeah, nothing going there. So no inheritances to worry about, except for our son, who is already going to inherit things anyway. He is first in line for us and this province here. Now, one of the first things I'm going to do is try to take care of these three provinces I don't have a direct line of succession to. And I'm going to be wanting to take away, one of the things we can do is when we bring up our vassal provinces, we can either mobilize his host, or, which is the only difference from ours, we can grant him a title or send him a fosteling. Everything we can do with other ones. We can actually declare war on our vassals. What we're going to do here is revoke title. And basically what this does is we revoke the title account of Penethere from Edouard, Count of Penethere. Because we aren't in the line of succession for him, it's going to be hard for us to take control of this province through that. So what we're going to be taking this away, and what this is going to do is it's based on his loyalty. It'll roll a check to see if he wants to do what we ask him to do, or if he's going to deny that. And we'll get an answer by this date here. Most likely he'll say yes, and we'll take control of this province directly. Now what that's going to do is it's going to lower the loyalty of these three. So we can't just keep doing that over and over. And we will also take a reputation hit, which I'll show you when it happens. As you can see right here, we don't have any modifiers from reputation. So let's kind of let the game run now. Something happened to him. He got another trait. So let it keep running, and he accepted to give it up. So now we control two provinces. Here and here, and our capital moved because this province is richer. No, it isn't. It's probably just the traditional capital of the province of the kingdom then. So now we control two provinces, which is better than one. It pretty much doubles our income. And we have one less vassal. And as you can see, if we select this guy, his loyalty went down 25%. But he's still gaining loyalty, so that's okay. We also get a minus 4% reputation hit. Now, reputation is pretty much like the bad boy system in the other Paradox games, and I believe 5% reputation is one bad boy, basically. If you pull up the console and type in bad boy, which I'm not going to do because that's cheating, you can kind of see what your bad boy number is. Right now we have less than one bad boy, which is good, and that will go away based on the amount of piety you have and how many provinces you give away. I'm going to be trying to limit this to 2, but crusading we're going to get to like 4 just from taking a bunch of provinces at once. So, that's not going to be too bad. We'll try to avoid the problems from it as much as possible. And uh, when taking provinces away from other people, we're going to be waiting until they're 100%, which is going to take a long time for this guy. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into our main menu, and we're going to go to the treasury screen. We're going to lower the scutage to 0. Now we're still gaining 4 gold, so that's pretty cool. That's pretty good. But as you can see, actually I don't think it affected it at all. It actually doesn't, so we're going to leave it all the way up like that. Anyway, later on in the game, if you lower and raise the scutage, their reputations will go up and down. Another thing we can do, this is basically your tax screen. This is how much for the nobles. This is for the peasants. This is for the burghers. So much army upkeep you have. You pretty much either want it at 0% or 100%. We are a masters, so we want it at 100%. If you were a vassal, you'd probably want to set it to 0, so when your king takes your troops away, you would do that. Because we raised our scutage, I'm going to raise the church donations a bit. Yeah, and that'll increase our... It's like the opposite of taxes. We give money to the church. And then down here's our totals. Okay, right here, go to the advances screen. Just to keep going over this, we want to switch this out. Now, what I like to do is go to castles, because the better castle you have, the more troops you can get. You know, the harder it is for people to take your province. I'm going to go into power so I can get road building quicker. And I'm going to go into schools to get libraries because they're a cheap early thing that you can gain money from. I'll go into more of that later when I actually start switching to different stuff. Now the law screen is what we really want to look at. Because we are a girl, we're our cognatic primogeniture, which means basically that females can inherit. This is something that's in the Deus Vult Improvement Pack. It takes away one of the stupid ecclesiastical laws that really didn't do much, and it replaces it with this. This is the only way you can get female inheritance in this game with this set of mods, as far as I know. We're going to leave it like that for role-playing purposes, I guess, because we have a female leader. Once we get a male leader, we might change it out. But we are in traditional custom right now, which gives us a bunch of dudes. Heavy infantry, but with few knights. So we don't really want that. What we want to do is switch to feudal contract to get a bunch of knights. And it'll also raise the loyalty of our vassals. Enact that. Let's go over here, and it doubles his loyalty gain, which is really good. It's popular law, we could also use that. I don't like that very much. And then regal prerogative would actually lower their loyalty. But if you have a really high loyalty modifier, it's not going to matter that much. You also get a lot of knights. A lot of knights. So this ends up being the best. As far as just pure troops go. But, again, early in the game, I'm not going to be worried about that much. And these are the different laws for succession. The only one that's really of note is this semi-salic primogeniture, because everybody else is in that. So, and, you know, the cognatic is basically, you know, people in Spain are in cognatic. People in, what is this? Aquitaine. Yeah, Aquitaine in France. And I think, no. I thought there was someone in Ireland who had it. Anyway. Towards the end of the game, pretty much only Brittany will stay in that with the AI. But, you know, Spain will do it too. But, you know. Anyway. That's pretty much sums up the screen as far as that goes. Alright, so what we're going to be wanting to do is we're going to be running the game like this and just watching things as they go. Early in the game, we're pretty much going to be wanting to solidify control of our province and, you know, try to increase our economic standing so we can get a good foundation for when we want to go crusading, because the crusading is going to be the focus of the game. Okay, this is a character event. The character events pop up early in the game, or when you don't have that many traits. And these give you personality traits mostly. Right now, all we have is Vengeful, which is a +1 intrigue, -2 diplomacy, or -1 diplomacy, excuse me, and -2 yearly piety. This is a negative trait. People tend to not like it, but some people do. The people who have Vengeful will like you. Pretty much everyone else will get a penalty, and you'll get a large penalty for the people who are forgiving, which is the opposite. So what we got here is we got our judgment is required in a legal case. So we have 3 options. We can get Rule Justly, which is 50% chance of getting the trait Just, and our Spy Master doesn't like that. Just is probably the best trait in the game as far as personality traits goes. It's a bit better than Zealous. It's a lot better than Zealous, actually. But Zealous is like the second. Favor your friends. We get a 50% chance of getting the trait Arbitrary, which is bad. And then our people will, we get modifiers with 2 of our vassals. Or we can maintain a middle ground and get a little bit of prestige. I'm going to Rule Justly. I don't get it. I don't get the bonus. I don't get the trait Just, but that's a really good trait. So 50% chance is a good chance, and all we really do is piss off our Spy Master a little bit. Whatever. But as soon as the year switches, I'm going to be pausing and unpausing the game as, events pop up. I might not even go the full year. But usually at the beginning of the game, events pop up pretty rapid fire, and after a certain point in the game, they'll start doing that as well. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to keep an eye on Leon. Oh, here we go, another one. Currently, the ruler has a good reputation, and in the eyes of the common people, it appears as a redeemed knight. So we lose our Vengeful trait, and that's good. Vengeful is again a negative trait, and that's why our good reputation made that go away. So yeah, that's good. We actually don't have a good reputation. Actually, we're getting a negative penalty because of it. So, although it's going down. Now what we're gonna do is I'm gonna pause the game, and pause the recording rather, and I'll come back when either something happens or this guy's at 100%, and then I'm gonna try to take his province away because we're not in succession for him. So, be right back. Okay, another event. Fun revolt in enemy province. I'm not sure we have any enemies. Okay. The 2 options here are execute operation. We lose gold, which we don't want to do. We get a chance of getting the deceitful trait, which we don't want to do. We don't really have any enemies, any visible enemies right now. They could be targeting one of the Muslims in Spain or something, I don't know. Or just somebody who is in a lower relation to us. Now we're going to return the operative, and we don't get the coward trait we have a 10% chance of getting from that, which is a bad trait. So pretty much nothing happens. Again, we're going to go back to checking out the guy from Leon and pausing the recording again. Okay. We have caught a servant who is stealing fresh bread from the kitchens and have locked him away in the dungeons. This is another character trait. A day with the jailers will teach him a lesson. We get the arbitrary trait, and our piety goes down. We could set him free. And the arrest will be frightening enough. We get just. And we gain 20 piety and lose 5 prestige. As you can tell, our prestige is higher than our piety. Piety is hard to get. And we get the really, really good just trait. So we're going to do this. And just is a +1 stewardship, -1 martial. But what it also does is, like if we select this guy, as you can see from character traits, we get a big bonus from just. So I like having it because it's a good trait to have.